Good morning, Monroe City. My name is Miss Generoso, and I'm a third grade teacher at Cypress Point Elementary. Today, we're going to be talking about perimeter. So our objective for this lesson is to recognize perimeter as an attribute of plane figures. All right, so I want to show you my little image that I have here so that we don't confuse perimeter and area. Perimeter is your fence. It's the outside of a plane figure. And the area is the inside. So we're not going to talk about area today. We're going to solely focus on perimeter. Perimeter is the boundary of a shape. It's the boundary of a shape, okay? So let's get started. Now, I have a little something to keep you remembering what perimeter is, okay? So we're going to have our paths, okay? Perimeter, add the sides. Perimeter, add the sides, paths. So that we can keep that in our minds and remember when we're moving forward. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to do a perimeter hunt in your house. So since we can't really get out right now, this is a fun way to practice perimeter and get a little more learning about it. So we are going to use things that are found around the house to measure the perimeter. And today I'm going to be using a ruler. Now let's go over a few common mistakes that happen with a ruler. A ruler has two sides. We have our inches and then we have our centimeters. We are going to be measuring with both inches and centimeters today. Also, something to remember is when you're measuring, you always start on the end and then measure where the object stops. So I know a lot of times our friends want to start in the middle of the ruler, but we always start on the end. So are you ready? All right, guys, so with perimeter, I want to teach you also a little trick about tracing the perimeter so that we remember that we're doing the outside of a figure instead of the inside. So a lot of times you might hear me say your fingers are walking, and what I mean by that is that you're going to walk around the perimeter, okay? So what I want you to do is you are going to collect 5 things from around your house. You can look in the pantry, you can check out some toys or puzzles or books, but 5 things that you can use to measure the perimeter. So I went around my house and I chose 5 different things that are different shapes, and we're going to practice measuring the perimeter. You ready? All right, so first up, I have this sweet little block that says Home Sweet Home. Now, a lot of times when people think about perimeter, they think that it is just rectangles. But a perimeter can be around any polygon, any shape that is flat. So we're talking about the outside. So what I did with my first block is I traced it onto the paper, okay? And then what we're going to do is we are going to measure. Now, my first thing we're going to measure in centimeters. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this top piece in our measuring. And we are seeing that it is measuring about 9 centimeters. So I'm going to write in my blank here, 9 centimeters. Now, we know that this is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. We also know that it's a parallelogram because it has 2 sets of parallel sides. So if this side is 9 centimeters, then this side over here is also 9 centimeters. All right, now I'm going to take my ruler, making sure I'm on the centimeter side, and I'm going to measure the other side. And the other side is 13 centimeters. So our block is a 9 by 13 block. Okay, the short side is 9, the long sides are 13. Now you might be saying, okay, what do I do now? Well, let's remember our paths. Perimeter, add the sides. So we're going to add these sides together. So we can say 9 plus 9 plus 13 plus 13. Now, I would add my like numbers together. So 9 plus 9 is 18. And 13 plus 13 is 26. So then we're going to add 18 and 26. You need a second to figure out what my perimeter is? The correct answer is 42 centimeters. So my welcome home, or my home sweet home block is 42 centimeters. Let's try another one. Now I'm going to get a little bigger in size, and I'm going to show you a notebook that looks like this. And we're going to pretend like that this spiral bound is not here, but when I take it and I trace it, it looks similar to this one. Now this time I want to measure in inches, okay? So we're going to flip-flop back and forth between our centimeters and inches. So when I start at the top, you can see the top is 6 inches. Notice that I'm also using my unit of measurement here. So 6 inches, and we know the bottom is going to be the same. So it is also 6 inches. Now for the top, for the side, we have 9 inches. So we're going to make sure that both of the sides have 9 inches. Now what do? I add the sides together. Very good. So I'm going to have 6 plus 6 plus 9 plus 9. So our 6 plus 6 is 12, and our 9 plus 9 is 18. What is my perimeter? The correct answer is 30. The perimeter of this shape is 30. And remember, with perimeter, we're tracing around the edges. Doing good? Let's move on to something a little more difficult. So I have here an arrow that came out of my little boy's nursery. And this, as you see, not all things that are perimeter are rectangular shaped. We can do any kind of shapes. So I took the arrow and I measured each of the different sides. Now, what can you tell me? How many sides does this arrow have? It has 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, something that you're going to notice about this arrow is all of these sides, this one, this one, this one, and this one are all the same size. And then these two are going to be the same size. So let's measure my arrow, and we are going to do it in, let's measure that one in inches, okay? Let's do it in centimeters. All right, so let's look at our first line. Okay, our first line is 11 centimeters. Now remember, the top line and this line are the same. They're also parallel. Do you see how if we extended this line out and extended this line out, they would never cross? Okay, so we have 2 11 centimeters. Now let's check out this side. This side is 16 centimeters. And as I said just a few minutes ago, all of the sides are 16. Well, actually, 16 centimeters. I did that all wrong. Okay, so what do we do to find the perimeter of this object? What we do is pats. Remember, perimeter, add the sides. So we're going to add all these sides together. So we have 11 plus 11 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16. I'm going to give you just a moment to add those together. Now, 11 and 11 is 22. 16 and 16 is 32. And 16 and 16 is 32. Then we can add these numbers together. And the correct answer is 86 centimeters. So all the way around our object is 86 centimeters. Let's try another one. Now, I have this lovely picture frame. Has a picture of my little guy on it. And again, I took the picture frame and I measured the edges. Now, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided figure. It is a parallelogram. It has parallel sides here and two parallel sides here, which are 2 sets of parallel sides. So let's take a look at this picture frame, and I want to measure the picture frame in inches, okay? So tell me, do I use this side of the ruler or do I use this side of the ruler? First one, second one. Very good, I use the second side of the ruler. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here at the top and we're going to go ahead and measure. All right, so let's go. So the top is 4 inches. Okay, the side right here is 3 inches. Now, these sides are the same length. So if this one's 3 inches, then what do you think this one's gonna be? 3 inches, very good. All right, now let's check out these sides. Do you think these sides are going to be the same as well? They are gonna be the same. So I'm going to measure in my inches, and you can see that it stops at 11. So this side is 11 inches. Good job. Okay, now we've got the bottom one left to do. Now, are these 2 sides going to be the same length? Thumbs up, thumbs down? No, they're not going to be the same length because this one is clearly smaller, but these lines are parallel. So I'm going to measure the bottom, and my bottom is at 7 inches. Now what do? I forgot. What do? I need to add up all the sides. Very good. So we're going to add up our sides. We have 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 11 plus 11 plus 7. Now, an easy way that might help you to add this is to find numbers that make a 10, okay? So let's look at these numbers and see if any of these numbers make a 10. Do you see any? All right, 3 and 7 make a 10. So we can have 3 plus 4 plus 10 plus 11 plus 11. Now, I don't see any more numbers that make a 10, but I'm going to go ahead and add some of these together. So 3 plus 4 is 7. We have our 10. And 11 plus 11 is what? 22. Good. We're getting it narrowed down. Now, let's look at this again. We have 7 and 10 make 17. And we have our 22. So tell me if you can find the answer to 17 plus 22. All right, the correct answer is 39. So the perimeter of this object is 39 inches. You guys are doing an awesome job. All right, let me see if I can trick you. I have a feeling that I can trick you. So what does this look like? It looks like a railroad crossing sign. My child is obsessed with trains, and when I was looking for objects for my hunt today, I thought, man, what a perfect one. Because I want you to see that they're not all square. We can change them up. They can be all kinds of things. So I took my railroad crossing, and of course, I traced it. So now look at these sides. There's a lot of sides. What can you tell me about the sides of this object? The ends are all the same, right? They're the same length. What about the sides? Are those all going to be the same? Yes. So let's count to see how many sides we have on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This has 12 sides. So I want to measure this in inches. Let's do it in inches. All right, you ready? Now, remember that we're going to use the inch side of the ruler, starting on the end of the ruler. And we're going to measure. Now, you can see that this end is 4 inches. Now, remember, each of the ends are the same size. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark my 4 inches. All right, excellent job. Now, what do? I need to measure the sides. So, the side of this one is 6 inches. So, I very quickly know that all the other sides are going to be 6 inches as well, right? Okay, so I'm going to label all my sides. I encourage you when you are doing perimeter, even if you think, oh, I got this, I encourage you to also always label the sides because it makes it easier whenever you're adding that you don't miss a number. So we have 6 inches all the way around. All right, now, what do I do? Yes, I can add them up, or I can try another way that makes it a little bit easier and keeps us from having to do all that counting, and we can multiply. So let's check out, how many do I have that are 4 inches? There's 4, very good. So we're gonna do 4 times 4 plus, how many sides have 6 inches? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna have 8 times 6, okay? So 4 times 4 is 16, plus 8 times 6 is what? 48, very good. Okay, you with me? Now, what do I have to do with those last 2 numbers? I have to add them together. So we're going to add these 2 numbers together. We have 16 plus 48, okay? And the correct answer is what? 64 inches. All right, great job. So I challenge you to go around your house, find a few objects that you can do the perimeter of. A great thing to use is stuff from your pantry, but you're gonna run into the problem that a lot of those things are just rectangles. So go on a hunt around your house, challenge your mom or dad or brother or sister to see if they can find the perimeters as well, and make sure that you use both sides of the ruler. Again, I'm Miss Generoso. I'm the 3rd grade teacher, math teacher at Cypress Point. Stay tuned for a lot more awesome lessons that are on perimeter area. There's lots of fun stuff coming, and keep checking out MCS TV. See you later.